Thank you very much for watching. This is exclusive content from the World Retail Congress 2017 here in Dubai, where I caught up with Simon Mottram. Let's hear what Simon has to say. Well, I'm joined now by Simon Mottram, who is the co-founder and chief executive of Rapha. Simon, thanks very much indeed for joining us. You've just finished a panel here at the Dubai 2017 World Retail Congress. First of all, for our viewers around the world who might not be familiar, can you just give us a little pen portrait of your journey from the concept and the thought of putting, I suppose, a lifestyle store together to where you are at the moment?
So Rapha is a cycling brand selling 75% of our sales are export, so we sell all over the world. We sell direct, 100% of our sales are direct. We started out as a digital native business with an online business, but we started doing our own stores, or as we call them, clubhouses, in 2010 with some tests, and then in 2012 properly. And we now have 15 clubhouses around the world, which act as a kind of beacon for our customers and our club members. We also have a subscription-based cycling club where people pay to be part of the brand, which is really interesting, and the stores are actually clubhouses for them.
So explain a little bit of that journey, because I think a lot of people who have big legacy store estates at the moment would love to sort of wave a magic wand and sort of relinquish all the stores and go completely digital. You've done it the other way round. So what was your thinking that took you from a digital business saying, actually, I want a physical bricks and mortar presence?
It wasn't a very difficult journey, to be honest, and partly because from day one we didn't just want to be a digital brand. A good friend of mine advised me very early on that you can't really create a brand purely digitally, and I think that's largely true. I think it's very hard to get the real depth and the real engagement that you want as a brand just going digital. So from day one we were a very physical brand. We started our life with a 1 month long exhibition in the East End of London all about the Tour de France, and we showed our products and we showed the Tour de France on TV, and we had parties, and we had food and drink, and we had an amazing exhibition, and that's pretty much the model that we've used ever since. So we were always very physical. We just couldn't afford to take on leases of 10 years until we were a little bit bigger. So it's always in our frame of reference to do physical retail properly. Our website has actually got a URL of .cc, which most people watching this wouldn't know what that is. It's actually Cocoa Islands, but it's a shortened form of cycling club. So from day one we wanted this thing to feel like a very tangible membership kind of organisation, and it's hard to do that again digitally. You really want to sit down with people and share things with them. So it's felt like a very natural thing. We've just had to learn a huge amount of new skills, because operating a successful online business is not the same as taking on leases and operating very successful stores.
Sure. I mean, many people might have in their mind the old vision of what a cycle store was like from their childhood, sort of racks and racks of bikes and somebody in the back with a screwdriver and a spanner putting it all together.
And our clubhouses are nothing like that.
So give us paint us a visual picture of actually what your clubhouse looks like.
Yeah, so the clubhouse is it's open, for a start, it's open for long opening hours. So it opens at 7:30 in the morning, depending on which country you're in, and goes on till 7:30 or 8 p.m. at night. So we're already extending what a normal store would do, with all the associated staff costs that come with that. But it's really important for us to be there when the cyclist wants to be there, not just when they're in Lycra, but when they're not in Lycra. So they might drop in for lunch, they might drop in for a coffee, they might drop in perhaps even to shop. But they can also go there before work, or at the finish of their morning ride, or after work to catch a stage of the Tour de France. So the opening hours are very long. Inside you'll find food and beverage as well as product, and our cafes take up around 40% of of our floor space, which seems again a very indulgent thing to do, but what it creates is a much better atmosphere and a much less intrusive and adversarial retail environment. So we're very happy that people spend all day there. Our average dwell time is over 30 minutes in one of our clubhouses, which is a lot longer than most stores. And people are encouraged to come in, watch the racing, talk to each other, meet other people. At some point they might go and wander and have a look at the product and maybe buy it, but it's not forced down their throats.
And you very much foster that sort of community, not just filled community store, but actually the community of people who are riding together, socialising together.
Absolutely. We have a Rapha cycling club which has 10,000 active members, and they will meet at the clubhouses either socially or for rides, before or after rides. And if you're not a member of the club, you can also join one of the clubhouse rides and get a feel for it. So that's absolutely our mission. Our mission is for cycling not to be the niche sport for only a few very thin, very sort of passionate people. It needs to actually be a much bigger sport, because what it represents is so fundamentally appealing and transformative. It's an amazing part of your life if you can make it part of your life, and it goes way beyond just sport and fitness. So we're out to try and get more and more people to come and do that. So our clubhouses have to be a very welcoming, easy thing to engage with. You
also design pretty much your entire range. Tell us a little bit about the breadth and diversity of that, because it's quite extraordinary.
Yes, we sometimes call our range an emporium, and I was very, very inspired by emporia in other fields, because our offer is really around cycling. We're a cycling brand trying to connect people to the sport of cycling, so it doesn't make sense to focus on one particular category over others. So we've always had a very broad view of what our range can be, and it currently goes from services. We offer travel services for customers to go on rides all over the world, right through skincare, publishing, hard goods, eyewear, food and beverage, and then into apparel, which is the mainstay of our business, where again the range is very extensive. And our strategy is to try and surround the customer, not in a horrible way, but surround the customer with ways of connecting to the sport and making their cycling life that much more rewarding.
When you had the concept for the idea, you started in business. Did you envision where you are at the moment, or was that also a journey of experience?
It's been a journey. I don't think we thought at the beginning that it could be quite as big as it is now. There's been a boom in cycling all over the world, and while I thought that should happen, I don't think I could guarantee that it would happen. And we've been blown away by the way that cycling's taken off in the UK particularly, but also places like Australia. Currently Southeast Asian countries are absolutely taking to the sport for the first time, and it's done very well in parts of Europe for years and years. So it's much bigger than we thought it would be. I always thought that the business should feel like it does now, and those customers who came to our early events and to our Kings of Pain exhibition when we launched, I think we'll see a very straight line between that and what we look like now, but we're significantly larger than I thought we would be.
And how important is the brand to you?
Well, I'm a brand guy,
well,
so it starts and finishes with the brand. I mean, I define brands very broadly. I mean, the brand is the whole business for me. It is the whole organisation and culture, as well as being the relationship with the customer and living in the customer's head. So the brand is all, and if anything, we're an exercise in how you can put the brand at the centre of your business, which means putting the customer at the centre of your business as well, and then design everything around that. So we don't start with a set of competencies or a particular kind of business model. We start with a brand, and the brand is all about the core appeal of cycling. So the brand is the most important thing to us.
So you've gone from a web store, physical stores.
Yeah.
Finally, what's the next part of your, if I can extend the pun on the metaphor, your cycling journey with Rapha?
Well, we've got a long way to roll all that out. We only have 15 clubhouses. We'd like to have 50 or more, at least around the world. And we'd like them to be wherever cyclists want them to be. So it could be where they ride as well as in the cities where they live. But once we're doing that, the bigger appeal, the bigger challenge is to try and take the sport and make it appealing to more and more people. Our ambition is to make it the most popular sport in the world, and I don't see anybody else who has that ambition, and it's quite a long-term ambition, but that involves making our content, making our experiences, making our products more relevant and more appealing to more and more people, but doing that in a very carefully managed way so that we keep the whole thing authentic and pure.
Well, Simon, thank you very much indeed for joining us. That's fascinating. It is one hell of an ambition, but I somehow think you might get there. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you very much indeed for watching. This is just one of the interviews that we conducted at the World Retail Congress 2017 in Dubai, where we broadcast every night with an hours-long programme. In order to see any of those programmes or to watch any of the other interviews, just go to this website here. My name's David Roth from WPP. Thank you very much indeed for watching.